You're listening to this podcast, so I know you've got a curious mind. Here's a helpful fact you may not know yet. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $900 on average. Pop over to Progressive.com, answer some questions, and you'll get a quick quote with discounts that are easy to come by. In fact, 99% of their auto customers earn at least one discount. Visit Progressive.com and see if you can enjoy a little cash back. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $946 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2024 and May 2025. Potential savings will vary.
Hello and welcome back to True Crime Guys podcast. I'm your host, Michael, and you know Andy's in here with me tonight.
Oh, I am here. I'm all comfy, Michael. It's a nice new rug.
Get cozy.
You got a new rug in here, Michael.
I cleaned up a little.
It really ties the room.
You like it?
It really brings the room together.
I thought so. I thought we needed a change.
We do.
It gets a little stale in here. You got to move stuff around. I gave you a little more room over there.
I know.
Yeah,
I
so
take
you
up
can be
space.
comfortable. Well, so you don't knock anything off the tables.
Yeah, I speak with my hands. Come on.
But guys, before we get into it today, I got to remind you, you can catch these episodes early and ad-free on Patreon. Patreon.com/TrueCrimeGuys, where for just $3 a month, you can hear all of this. Like I said, early ad-free with some bonus content. Me and Andy talked about all kinds of stuff for about 15 or so minutes before we got into this. So if you're on Patreon, check that out, guys. I think you might catch a few laughs. But today, we're talking about the death of Stephen Robard.
Ooh, nothing funny about this case, Michael.
No, there's not. Very untimely. In the winter of '93, Stephen Robard and his family were sitting down for dinner. It was taco night, Stephen's favorite. He devoured every bit of it. He thanked his family for making them, and then he headed off to an evening church service. But upon returning, just 2 hours later, Stephen would collapse, unable to breathe. His autopsy stated it was a simple heart attack. Nothing suspicious. No big deal. But what no one knew at the time was that Stephen's final meal had been the very thing that killed him.
Are we talking poison, Michael?
Most likely.
Poison!
Spoiler alert.
Poison! You know the bottle with the skull and crossbones?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, poison. Just a poison.
It's just poison.
That's how it is. It's always poison.
It
Very
is.
clearly labeled.
Very clearly. A little dab will do you.
Yep.
All right. Roll this intro, Andy. What are we talking about?
What if this cursed hand were thicker than itself with brother's blood? Is there not rain enough in the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? Whereto serves mercy but to confront the visage of offense? And what's in prayer but this twofold force, to be forestalled ere we come to fall, or pardoned being down? Then I'll look up. My fault is past. But, oh, what form of prayer can serve my turn? Forgive me my foul murder. That cannot be, since I am still possessed of those effects for which I did the murder. May one be pardoned and retain the offense? In the corrupted currents of this world, offence's gilded hand may shove by justice, and oft is seen the wicked prize itself buys out the law. But 'tis not so above. There is no shuffling. There the action lies in his true nature, and we ourselves compelled even to the teeth and forehead of our faults to give in evidence. What then? What rest? Try what repentance can. Oh, what can it not? But what can it when one cannot repent?
All right, so Stephen and Beth Robard had been high school sweethearts. They married young, and 2 years later, they had a daughter together. Her name was Marie. But as Marie got older, her parents' marriage kind of began to fall apart. Stephen struggled with depression. He bounced around from job to job. They had a lot of financial issues, and eventually they divorced.
And this was when, Marie was pretty young too. Or not Marie. Marie was pretty young.
Yeah, Marie was very young.
So she, I think they said that her mother, when her mother remarried correctly,
Yes.
and her mother, the stepfather who kind of was in her life was almost like her dad.
Yes,
he was
because she lived with them.
Yeah, most of the time.
Exactly.
So Stephen kind of almost took like a back seat in her life a little bit, especially during the early years.
Right. I heard she even called him Stephen Dad.
Stephen Dad. That did catch me off. I was like, Stephen Dad? Okay.
That's very important.
Yeah.
A lot of videos leave this fact out, and they act like Marie and Stephen had this super close, inseparable relationship. And that's simply not the case.
No, like I said, he was definitely the secondary parent in her life for the majority of it.
Exactly. At first, like Andy said, Marie did stay with her mother, and she saw Stephen every so often. Though Stephen never fully disappeared from her life, he was more focused on rebuilding his own at the time. He kind of wanted to make his own place worthy of having his daughter come there. He's working on his job. But eventually, he found a good job. He's working as a mail carrier for the United States Postal Service, and he genuinely loved it. He was getting his life together. He was starting to feel like himself again. And that's when he met someone new. Her name was Sandra. And for the first time in a while, things seemed to be going pretty good for Stephen. Meanwhile, Marie was 16 now. She was a straight-A student. She was very driven. She did well in school. She stayed active in extracurriculars. And on the surface, she had everything going for her. But at home, things were not going so well, right? She's still living with her mom, Beth. Beth had now remarried again.
And that remarriage happened, like we said, early on. Beth kind of jumped into a new relationship almost immediately after
after Stephen, yes, but this will be her third marriage.
Yes, her third,
this will be her third marriage, yes. Beth is now remarried, and Marie is not getting along with her new stepfather. His name is Frank. And it probably had something to do with her catching Frank with another woman. You think that was it, Andy?
I mean, Frank definitely may have done a few things wrong in this relationship.
Yeah, but it became clear that someone had to go, and I guess it ended up being Marie.
Yeah, right.
Long story short, it was Marie.
Apparently her mom kind of, it was a tough situation where even Marie kind of felt like her mom was being controlled by Frank, and she kind of, defended Frank, and Marie said one of us has to go. And her mom was like, well, I'm choosing Frank. So she went to
pretty much.
Yeah. Basically what she went to go stay with her grandparents for what, 5 days.
Yeah.
Before they kicked her out.
Yeah. It didn't last.
Or before she tried to come back home. Before she was like, Mom.
And her mom was like, no, once you out, you out. So she had to go live with Stephen Dad.
Ooh, Stephen Dad.
But by then, Stephen Dad's life looked a lot different. He had a stable job. He had a bigger apartment. Still nothing like what Marie was used to, apparently, with her mom.
No,
she was not happy with his small apartment. But it was a bigger apartment for Stephen. And he was in Fort Worth now. And for the first time in years, he had the chance to really be a father to Marie. And he was looking forward to it. And Marie, she fit in great with the family. She got along well with Stephen's new wife, Sandra. She helped around the house. She helped him cook dinner. And she was known to cook Mexican food for Stephen pretty often because it was one of his favorites. Everything felt like it was right.
Yeah.
Like things were clicking, right? Until February 17th, 1993. It was a regular evening in the Robard's house. Stephen had just had dinner, tacos, made by his daughter Marie, and he thanked Marie for a delicious dinner before heading out the door. See, Stephen was due to attend a church service on that evening, but as soon as he got to the church, he started feeling a little sick. He was kind of short of breath, and he was just in a distress, like a panic state. He didn't feel good, but he did make it through the service. He actually made it through the service and went home. He actually got back home. That's right.
I drove all the way here.
The Lord was proud of you. Let me tell you.
Listen, if God can't heal me, I'm going to die.
Yeah. But unfortunately, Stephen was getting worse. Sandra and Marie were both worried. Ultimately, Sandra decided to call 911, and an ambulance was on the way, but it couldn't get there soon enough. Stephen had sadly passed away. He was only 38 years old.
Mm-hmm. Because you have to remember, like, apparently Stephen comes home and is like basically very much showing the signs of like a heart attack or something. Like he starts like foaming at the mouth.
Yeah. He
collapses. He almost like has like a seizure to where like, Marie takes Sandra's son, I believe. Like Sandra has a son as well.
Yes.
And like she just kind of goes off and listens to the radio.
She does. Yeah.
The whole time while the ambulance comes and while her father they try to.
And I get that because that's kind of it, at least at the scene, it appears a helpful distraction to this young boy, right?
Take the younger child, get out of the way. You know, let the paramedics do their job. But like, you know, they get there and they can't even they can't get an air what's the tube called or they can't intubate him. They can't even get a tube in his airway because everything is closed up and he's basically already dead.
He is.
So it's just it's a very chaotic scene for something that, you know, just kind of came on real quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And
this episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
According to the autopsy results, Stephen's cause of death was a heart attack. Now, this came as a surprise to everyone because he'd never had any heart complications before. They didn't run in his family. Mm-hmm. He was in relatively good health. And like we mentioned, he was only 38 years old. And nothing malicious showed up in the autopsy. But nonetheless, Stephen's death came as a devastating shock to everyone. And now, since Marie didn't have her dad to live with, she was sent to live with her grandparents. Well, she went back with her mom for a minute.
Yeah, she did go
for a quick minute. But then her mom was like, "Oh, by the way, we're moving to Florida."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that little Florida trip wasn't very fun for Marie.
No, not at all. But long story short, Marie ends up back in Texas with her grandparents.
They send her, but not her the first grandparents that she went to the first time.
No,
because originally
I'm talking about Texas.
Her mom sent her to her parents' house, and then this time she gets sent to Stephen's parents' house.
Yes, her paternal grandparents.
Her paternal grandparents.
Thank you for clearing that up.
Yeah, who just buried their son, who was her dad. Like, that's who she is now forced to live with because she moves around a few times. She bounces to a high school here. She bounces to a high school here. And this is where she finally ends up to kind of like graduate, I think. Kind of like finish out high school with her grandparents.
Yes, she enrolls in Mansfield High School, which she was not very happy about. But overall, the transition seemed pretty easy for her. It didn't hurt her academically. Yeah. It didn't hurt her college prospects or anything like that. But
no, like we said, she had bounced around before already, so she was already kind of used to those transitioning periods.
Yes. But she ended up graduating from high school, and then she went to the University of Texas to study pre-med. She wanted to become a pathologist.
Ooh, a pathologist.
Mm-hmm. And lucky for her, she had the money that she got from her dad's life insurance policy payout, which was $60,000 to be exact. And that really helped fund that pathologist dream.
Okay.
Yeah, it sure did. So I guess that's a silver lining in all this, right? Even though Stephen died prematurely, at least he got to help his daughter achieve her dream still.
Yeah.
You know, he still provided for her in a way.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it, folks. It's a happy ending.
It's weird. We kind of led up to something. I really feel like I jumped the gun with poison, but maybe not.
No, it's just sometimes there's just no crime in the cases that we cover.
Wow, that's a happy ending.
If only, Andy.
Oh no, Michael! Don't pull a rug out from under me. It's a new rug.
Oh, I'm just getting used to it. But unbeknownst to everyone who knew Stephen, the police were busy looking into his untimely death because they knew it wasn't accidental. Something just wasn't right. They just had to prove it. And about a year after Stephen's death, the police were approached by a woman by the name of Stacy High. According to this Stacy, she was working on a report based on Hamlet, the Shakespeare play, and when Stacy got to a scene in Act 3, when the King Claudius was agonizing over how to repent after murdering his brother, Stacy looked up at her friend, Marie Robard, who was bawling her eyes out.
Because at this point, Stacy has kind of is like the only friend who Marie has got at this school.
Yes.
And Stacy has been like, she knows what happened to her. She knows that her father died,
right,
suddenly. So she's tried to be very nice to her. She's reached out to her. Like she has she has become her best friend.
Yes, absolutely.
So when they're doing this, they're like at almost like a sleepover type thing. They're at or whatever they were saying. They were like at each other's houses practicing for a play.
Yeah.
And so they were alone together, which they were alone together a lot. So this wasn't like a one-time thing, like out of the blue. Oh, I'm just talking to somebody and just, start confessing.
Right. No.
This was her best friend at the time.
Exactly. And Marie looked at Stacy and she said, "Do you believe it's possible for a person to not have a conscience?" And within minutes, Marie broke down and confessed everything to her friend. She confessed that she had murdered her own father a year ago, and that his death wasn't accidental because she poisoned him. Stacy was completely floored.
Yeah,
as you can imagine.
That's not normally what,
I get it, they're best friends, but they maybe known each other maybe 2 years.
Yeah, best
You know what I mean?
listen, best friends swap secrets all the time. I'm not a girl. I never was at one of those girl bestie sleepovers where you swap secrets and you have all those little inside jokes, but it's usually kind of like, oh, I have a crush on so-and-so, or, oh, did you see so-and-so what they did? It's usually not like, oh, by the way, I committed first-degree murder.
Right. Usually it's not.
It's usually not like, oh, by the way, you ever heard of patricide?
Yeah. Yeah. You ever heard of barium acetate?
Yeah, right. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Work on chemistry homework, so I know this word.
Yeah, exactly. So naturally, Stacy went to the police and told them everything. And when the police heard that it was Marie who was responsible, they were just as shocked as everyone else. The last person anyone would have suspected was Marie. The police were looking into people closest to Stephen, obviously, but honestly, Marie was not on their radar.
No.
At all.
His 16-year-old, seemingly happy daughter.
Yeah, why would she? The police still wanted to know how Marie had planned all of this, and luckily, she told Stacy everything.
Yeah, because she just kind of had to at this point.
Yeah.
She had to tell someone.
Exactly. I think so, too. According to Stacy, Marie was in chemistry class in a lab when their teacher pulled out a white powder-like substance that is extremely dangerous if ingested, and that substance is barium acetate. This powder could cause a decline in the body's natural potassium levels, which obviously is essential for the heart, and it can also cause a variety of symptoms like nausea, stomach aches, and heart issues or failure, a.k.a. what Stephen had.
Oh, kind of like just checking some boxes here.
Exactly. Apparently, she had stole some of the barium acetate from the chemistry lab when no one was looking and stuffed it in her bag. And she took this. They figured out a timeline. She had to have taken this a week before Stephen's passing. So she had this chemical in her possession for a week thinking about it, Andy. Mm-hmm. That's not premeditation, dude.
Yeah, so now they've got the fact that she made sure to get this specific thing and held on to it for a time.
Yes.
Before implementing her plan.
Yeah, she thought about it for a while.
Definitely premeditation. Oh, damn.
Yeah. And the amount of poison that she put in the tacos was almost 28 times the lethal dose.
Ooh.
Yeah, Stephen had no chance.
And that 28 times the lethal dose, that comes back later on in her trial when she tries to confess, or she tries to say, I just wanted to make him sick.
Yeah.
Not kill him. It's like,
right.
Well, 28 times the lethal dose is
a little extreme.
Little overkill for sick. That's a little bit more than a stomach flu.
No doubt. So now the police just had one really big question. Why did Marie want her father out of the picture?
Yeah, there's the big question is usually motive.
Yeah.
Like we kind of need a motive here.
Right. What happened to lead to this type of escalation, right? But in the meantime, while they're working on that, the police had also had to piece together other pieces of evidence, like proving Marie had stolen the compound from the lab in the first place. Mm-hmm. And when the school checked the lab manual of chemicals, it's funny, a page for that very chemical was missing out of the manual.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
The day before you could just snap a picture. I just got to, shh.
Yep.
Nobody will notice that. No one looks at
no one's going to notice that was taken out of there. Yeah, you can guess which compound page was missing.
Right.
Well, now that the police knew that Marie had stolen the substance from the chemistry lab, they needed to figure out one final thing. They wanted to know the level that was in Stephen's body at the time of his passing. If you remember, at first, Stephen's autopsy didn't show any suspicious information, right? That's because the compound like this won't show up in a normal autopsy. This has to be a special test, which they didn't send for because they had no reason to suspect foul play at the time.
Yeah, all the symptoms kind of just looked like a heart attack. And it's one of those like expensive, sent it to a specialized lab tests.
Yes, exactly. But naturally, when this test was done, it proved that the compound was in his system, and this was indeed the reason for his death.
28 times the lethal dose.
28 times. So now the police had everything they needed. It was time to arrest Marie Robard. And while all this investigation was going on, Marie was in Austin, Texas. She was at college. So the police went there to get her. And when the police told her why they were there, she was just emotionless, expressionless.
Yeah, just
They said she just stood there, blank face, just staring.
It's like, shit.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah. And the police, again, they had no idea it was Marie. If it's not for Stacy coming forward, this case doesn't get solved.
No, absolutely not.
It's simple as that. She gets away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she kind of did, in my opinion. We'll get there. Mm-hmm. But in the interrogation room, Marie confessed to everything. But she told the police that it was never her intention to fatally harm her father. She didn't want to kill Stephen. She just wanted to make him sick. And when the police asked her why, she said, because I didn't want to live with him anymore. Wow.
That was
pretty
much
much
the only reason.
Pretty much it.
She wanted so badly to go back to her mom's house where she had like a bigger house. She had her own room. She had all of her original high school, or what she had all of her friends. And like I said, like her dad, like she went to go live with her dad, and she just didn't like it.
She just didn't like it. She wasn't good enough.
Yeah, like her dad wasn't abusive.
Nope.
Or like nothing. Like, there was no problems in the home or anything like that. And yet her literal only real explanation to the police was, I just didn't want to live with him anymore. I wanted to go live with my mom.
Right.
It's like, I'm sorry, what?
And it's crazy, but it's because of Marie that she had to leave her mom's house in the first place. Mm-hmm. If she wouldn't have started that shit with the stepdad, and I get it, but your mom is a grown-ass woman. If she chooses to stay with him, like maybe that's their relationship.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something they came to terms with.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you want to live with your mom, then that's something you have to deal with. But she left. But
this episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
After Stephen's funeral, Marie was probably excited that she now got to go live with her mom, which she did for a minute, which we mentioned. She did. But ultimately, she didn't get what she wanted because her mom went to Florida and she was stuck in Texas. And I think her mom, Beth, really just wanted to start a new life here, especially now that this has happened. Yeah. You don't want this shadow hanging over your family.
No, I don't think so. At least,
no.
I think Beth was a little selfish at this point.
Exactly. So Marie's trial was held in 1995. She stood by her innocence, and she stood her ground that she didn't want to kill her dad. She only wanted to make him sick. And Marie ended up pleading not guilty. She was tried as an adult. And this trial and this whole case in particular was extremely publicized at the time, especially for the 90s. And in the end, Marie was found guilty, and she was sentenced to 27 years in prison in 1996. And a lot of people had a problem with this sentence. They thought it was too harsh.
Too harsh, yeah.
Too harsh for murdering someone in cold blood, meditating it, think about it for a week.
Yeah. And to be fair, Michael, as we've said before, it's like if she is to be believed that she did not actually mean to murder, she just wanted to make him sick, like that she was just trying to make him sick, then I can see how that could be. That's where the divisiveness comes into, because it's like, is it premeditated murder or is it premeditated manslaughter? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, did you accidentally kill someone when you were planning to injure them?
But you literally just learned about this chemical the week before in a chemistry class and learned exactly what it's capable of. Mm-hmm. Then you took a large amount of it.
Yeah.
And you're a straight A student, so you're paying attention.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying, Andy?
Well, I still don't think maybe she fully understood the potency of this chemical. You know what I'm saying? Like, how much was just a small amount? Like, I don't think she realized how much she was really putting in to the food, because she didn't put in like a ton of this chemical because she knew she couldn't. Like, it would the flavor would get messed up. So it's only a small amount,
Right.
So she probably thought like, oh, it's a tiny amount. He'll get really sick. It might like make him look like he's having a heart attack, or it might make him to where it's like he's just too sick for me to stay here. He's going to be in the hospital for a little while. I can just go. I'll go stay with mom, and then I can just stay there.
Yeah.
Like she might even have thought it might put him in the hospital, but she doesn't. I genuinely believe that she doesn't think it's going to kill him.
Yeah. Still an extremely dangerous person.
Because I think if she genuinely planned on killing him, I don't think she confesses to her friend. That's just my opinion.
You don't think she has that guilt at the end?
No, I think if she had genuinely planned to kill her dad just to go live with her mom, then she is not. Once she kind of gets out or whatever, and she realizes she's not getting what she wants, I don't think she confesses to murder.
Right.
She is, because if she was that cold about it, I don't think she's going to regret it. She's not going, like, she might regret it, yes, but I don't think she's confessing to it the way that she did.
Right.
The way that she confessed was she is holding on to something that she feels terrible about. Like, that she feels guilty and she just has to tell someone about. Like, she made a mistake.
Right.
So that's what kind of leads me to believe it's almost premeditated manslaughter in that sense of, like, you meant you got the toxic stuff, you meant to do this.
So what's manslaughter? Is it
manslaughter is when you accidentally
No,
kill
I mean,
someone.
what's the prison sentence? I know what manslaughter is. Like, what's the average prison sentence, you think?
I don't know. It probably
especially in
depends
Texas.
In Texas,
Probably still close to 20 years.
It depends. It probably depends on the severity of everything involved. There's probably leniency on it as well. But
either way, she only did 9 years.
But 27 years.
She was out in 2003. She has changed her identity. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I don't know what she's doing now. She might be married. She might have a family. Who knows?
Like I said, she did not want to be remembered for this. This was not something.
She's 49 now.
I genuinely believe this may have been an accident, but she got away with murder. Like, she technically murdered her father, whether she meant to or not.
Yeah.
And she got away with it. And she would have gotten away with it had she not confessed.
Right.
So that's what leads me
But
to believe
to not even serve 9 years, and you were tried as an adult.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's one of those things. It's what leads me to. Maybe it's just the hope, I guess. The hope I have in this situation, but it's like it leads me to believe it was an accident, that she didn't mean to do this, that she's not broken, she's not just a cold-hearted bitch killer or whatever.
Yeah.
But like I said, she did.
I think a lot of people give her the benefit of the doubt because she's pretty. I'm gonna say it for real.
Yeah.
A lot of people look at that picture and they think, "Oh, poor girl," because she's pretty. If she was an ugly girl, everybody would be like, "That bitch poisoned her dad."
Yeah, there is definitely a bit of pretty bias that comes into it.
A lot. There's a lot in this case. That's why she only served 9 years. Mm-hmm. And she knows how to play the part. She's a sociopath. She's a straight A student. She knows how to do what people like.
Really? Yeah. I don't know. Like I said,
or maybe she just made a mistake as a crazy, overzealous teenager.
That's one of the things. Teenagers make crazy judgment calls on small issues. Mm-hmm. Like teenagers make life-changing, like huge decisions off tiny little, things that happen, and they have no idea the long-term consequences of what those actions are. Like, it's so hard for teenagers to wrap their minds around those things.
It really is. But at the same time, they think they're going to live forever, which is crazy.
Like
but that in itself lets you know that they have no concept of time.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, you just can't. It's not your fault, teenagers. It's just we all feel that way at that time.
Yeah, everybody does, and it's just you. Yeah. So it's I don't know. I don't know if she's a sociopath. I don't know if she's a psychopath, or if she is a scared teen who thought she was going to get away with a real slick move of she was dark either way. Like, that's a dark thing to be like.
Like I said, man, she can't be trusted. She ain't living with me. Like, not after this.
I'm going to poison my dad.
Nah.
Like, to make him sick. Like, that's still dark as shit. Mm-hmm. That's not like, oh, I'm just gonna tell my mom it's bad here. I'm gonna lie about some stuff.
Right. I'm pretty sure your dad would have let you go live somewhere else.
Yeah, it's like you're 16 years old. You only got to be here for 2 years. It's like we can make the best of this, or we can figure something out. But yeah, I don't. That's what things. I feel like it's just there's got to be a way that this was an accident. I hope it has to be. But
you're listening to this podcast, so I know you've got a curious mind. Here's a helpful fact you may not know yet. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $900 on average. Pop over to Progressive.com, answer some questions, and you'll get a quick quote with discounts that are easy to come by. In fact, 99% of their auto customers earn at least one discount. Visit Progressive.com and see if you can enjoy a little cash back. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $946 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2024 and May 2025. Potential savings will vary.
Either way, man, this was a confusing case for everybody.
It was, and she's out now, so out living her life wherever she is under a new alias.
Man,
been out, bro. She's been out for 23 years.
Man, maybe she could listen to this. She might be listening to this episode right now.
Maybe
she could be a fan of our show. Never even know it.
Well, if you are, the least you can do is go buy some Oh My Gaia.
That would be what a fan
for
would
murdering
do.
your dad. You could at least go.
That's if you're a real fan.
Yeah, if you're a real fan, geez, make it up. Start making it up to society. This is a small thing you can do. Buy some Oh My Gaia and hand it out to people. Oh My Gaia is an innovative all-natural deodorant, fragrance, and beard oil company specializing in paraben and aluminum-free products. Their innovative line of deodorants inhibit the growth of odor-causing bacteria while still maintaining effectiveness. Guys, there's tons of scents to choose from at ohmygaia.com. That's ohmygaia.com. And because you're True Crime Guys listeners, you can use the code word Crimepine for 15% off your order. That's CRIMEPINE. No spaces. Crimepine for 15% off. It's right below the description of this episode. Don't forget to check them out on Instagram as well at shop_ohmygaia. And again, that's ohmygaia.com. ohmygaia.com.
You will not regret it.
You will not. Also, check out Patreon while you're at it. Patreon.com/truecrimeguys. Appreciate it. Guys, thank you for sending case suggestions. Thank you all for interacting on social media, for subscribing, leaving reviews, whatever you're doing to help the show. We appreciate it very, very much. Bugging your friends about weird serial killer facts. Whatever it is you guys do.
Reminding us about them. Tagging us in things.
Telling us all the stuff we got wrong. Thank you so much.
Always
a pleasure. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you next week with a new True Crime Guys case. Until then, I guess you have to keep on creeping.
Bye.